Hey everyone, and welcome back to another installment of the Cabral and Salisbury show. Today we're going to focus on the Bucks winning the Super Bowl and what followed, NFL coach changes, trade rumors, the new show WandaVision, and Gino Carano getting fired. Jay, why don't you start us off today?
Hey everybody. First things first. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the Super Bowl. This being Brady's seventh Super Bowl ring win, and the first time an NFL team has not only played in a Super Bowl in their home stadium, but have also won it. What a historical night it was. Sean, what did you think of the game?
I thought it was a fantastic game. It was magical to see Brady score his seventh ring live, and not just hear about it from you or see it on the news like I've done in the past years. The one thing that really irked me though was the amount of flags KC got compared to the Bucks, but it is what it is. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought KC received a lot more penalties than they should have. I think some of the calls the refs made, there just wasn't much or anything really to go off of. But KC seemed to be off all night. The Bucks defense was all over Mahomes, which was an achievement on its own. But I mean, that's really all there is to say on that. Congrats to the GOAT Tom Brady on winning his seventh Super Bowl, and congrats to the Bucks, man. Now the NFL begins a new year. And as far as new head coaching signings go, there have been many over the past few weeks, but there's really two that I want to focus on. The first, the signing of former San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator to the Jets. That's right. The Jets have signed Robert Saleh to be their new head coach. Seeing that he's a defensive-minded coach, that may come in handy since the Jets defense was ranked 26th out of 32 last season. Sean, do you believe this was a good move for the Jets?
I do, in fact, think this was a good decision for the Jets because the 49ers defense on their Salah was ranked number one in the 29 NFL season, in which the 49ers reached the Super Bowl and still finished seventh this past season despite major injuries. Salah could bring this team further than some people actually think.
Those are all excellent points. I agree. I think Robert Saleh could be a good coach, and I think his defensive knowledge is going to have a good impact on their defense's performance, and we'll have to see where the team as a whole goes from there. Another big head coach signing was that of the Jacksonville Jaguars, signing legendary and former college football coach of Florida and Ohio State, Urban Meyer. Now, my question is, what does the signing of Urban Meyer mean for the number one pick in this year's draft? Now, considering this is Meyer's first time coaching a pro level team, he might not have a say in the matter, but let's say he does. What does that mean for the number one pick?
Well, Clemson QB Trevor Lawrence is the projected number one pick. Many say best QB prospect since Andrew Luck. However, Urban Meyer has shown love for Ohio State QB Justin Field.
Now, even though Urban Meyer, prior to the last college football season, said he would rank Lawrence over Fields, he did say it was for one reason and one reason only, and that was Lawrence had played a year longer than Fields, and Meyer wanted to see more from Fields. Throughout the season, Justin Fields played well enough to catch Meyer's attention, as Myers did comment on Fields' performance throughout the season. Plus, there's the connection to Ohio State, though Meyer never actually coached Fields. Jumping over the Houston Texans. The league has been taken over by Deshaun Watson's demanding a trade from the franchise. Now, reports have said that the owner has come out and said that he will not trade Watson, but I think only time will tell. Sean, where do you see Deshaun Watson landing?
Well, Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson wants to be traded from the franchise. The Lions, Patriots, Dolphins, 49ers, Jets are amongst the interested teams according to reports. Colin Cowherd suggests that Jets is the best move for Watson. Watson wanted the Texans to sign coach Robert Saleh, however. Reports suggest Saleh plans to keep Sam Darnold. So I don't think anyone can say for certain where Watson will land, so we're going to have to see.
Right, I 100% agree with that last statement. But it is interesting to think about. A player like Watson being available. I watched Colin when he said the Jets would be the best move, but as you said, Sean, reports suggest Saleh wants to keep Darnold. But here's an interesting question. What happens if Jacksonville and Myers select Justin Fields with the number one pick? Does Robert Saleh and the Jets pass up Trevor Lawrence? Do they trade the pick regardless if Lawrence is available or not? Let's say the Jets do trade for Watson with the number 2 pick. Will Houston then take Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence if he's available, or someone else we haven't even talked about? What if someone gives the Jets a better offer, assuming they are not interested in Watson? These are all very interesting scenarios.
Well, with the uncertainty of if Urban Meyer will pick Lawrence or Fields, it's hard to really say what will happen with the number 2 overall pick. If Meyer even has control of a decision of that number 1 pick, the number 1 pick could change the landscape of the draft, or even the number 2 pick for that matter.
I think you're absolutely right. I can't wait for the draft to see it all unfold. But right now, Sean, you have something you want to share with us?
Yes, I actually do, and I want to talk about Gina Carano. Big news. She was actually fired from Lucasfilm in Disney, and if people don't know who she is or what character she played Cara Dune in the hit show The Mandalorian. What are your thoughts on that, Jay?
Honestly, I was taken by surprise at this. I do know a few months ago she had posted something, got in trouble from Disney, and then she did it again. I don't remember what exactly was said, so if you could care to elaborate on that.
Yeah, so she actually made a post comparing something about the Jews rounding up each other and people hating each other for being Jews, because that's what the Nazis did. They made they hated the Jews, and then they made the Jews hate themselves. Basically, then she made the post comparing it to like that's basically what's the difference now in politics. You're just trying to make people hate each other. All the hate and division. That's the correct term. So when I heard this news, I was actually pretty surprised because then where can you go from here?
Yeah,
Especially with that character Cara Dune. Like, are you gonna cancel the season? Because she was a big character.
no, I don't think she said anything wrong there. I mean, I totally agree with the point, and like thing is I've always been one of those believers like certain things should keep politics out of. So for Disney to fire her over this, I don't agree with it. I think everybody should have. I mean, even if you're a celebrity, you still have the right, First Amendment right, to speak freely. I know as a when you have somebody representing your brand or your show or whatever, I mean, there's certain things you don't want them saying, which I mean that I agree with, but I don't agree with that in this case. Again, I do think she was correct in what she said, and I don't even think it was that bad. Yeah, I know the Holocaust is a touchy subject, but I mean, she has a very good point. So
Right.
I'm upset. I'm upset with Disney. I was surprised by the decision. Um, I don't know really go from there. I mean, they're probably gonna have to. They probably already had the plan for season 3, and then I guess now that's just out the window because, like as you said, she was a very big character of the show, very loved. Um, yeah. Do you have anything else to say on it?
Well, yeah. So we have many Jews. I'm friends with a couple Jews myself, and they were not offended by this at all. I mean, some people are different than others, but I think personally that some people are just really trying to get attention out of this, to be honest. Even, I'm sure you know Ben Shapiro, he's a big Jew. You
Yeah.
could tell because he wears a little hat on top of his head whenever he does his little podcast, his little show. And he's not even offended by it, and actually he hired her. So it's gonna be interesting to see where her career goes from here. And I was actually just watching a video from the Quartering about Pedro Pascal actually possibly quitting, and I haven't seen anything else on the news. So
Yeah,
if he quits, the Mandalorian's dead on the spot.
I
To be
mean, I mean,
honest.
honestly, yeah, if you lose your star, there's really nowhere to go from there. And Pedro Pascal, another very loved actor, character on the show. As you said, the star of the show, the Mandalorian. Um, yeah, like you said, there's nowhere really to go from there, and it's tragic, honestly, to see what's going on. As I said before, politics should be just stay out of certain things, and I think people should be free to say what they want. I'm happy for Gina and her where her career is gonna be taken off. Disney's gonna have to figure
Right.
something out. And as you said, there's people possibly quit. One article I was reading a little bit ago was it basically squashed the rumors that he's quitting. However, Disney, Lucasfilms, and Pedro Pascal have not commented on it, which is kind of strange. I feel like because there was rumors Pedro was going to quit the show last year, and he immediately squashed those rumors. For him to be silent right now, I don't know how to take that. I don't know if he's just
Right.
being silent just because this happened before. It's not true, whatever, or if it's just like maybe there is some truth to it.
Right. We're gonna have to see because again, The Mandalorian is a very popular show, and I don't really see them canceling it. But recently on Twitter, cancel Disney Plus is trending, or I believe it was. A lot of people are canceling their Disney Plus accounts. Will it bring down the mouse? I don't think so. But I think it's the point that they're trying to make.
Right.
And although it's wrong to fire Gina Carano, perhaps maybe she shouldn't have been so vocal about her views. Yeah, she has protection of the First Amendment, but to be fair, she should know that being a big actress can really influence a lot of people, and knowing the world today can actually offend a lot of people as well. So in her position, I think she should have known better, but I still don't think she should have been fired over it because
Right.
she's just voicing her opinion, and Pedro actually voiced a similar opinion, but to a comparison towards Trump supporters in Nazi Germany, and he didn't get fired. So maybe the rumors of him quitting is him just trying to make a statement,
Maybe, and
to
that
help
could be
Gina out.
very true. I mean, we can't say for certain what's really going on, Pedro. But I mean, what we do know right now, like you said, he has said something very similar in the past in a post. And again, celebrities should know better, because you're right. They reach a lot of people, and a lot of people take things that they say very seriously. So
Right,
I think you summed it up pretty well. Like, I don't even think there's a better way to say it. Like, yes, she should have known better, but at the same time, she shouldn't have been fired. I think they could have come to some better arrangement of like a form of punishment for her for what she said. But I mean, I don't think firing was the right way to go. And now you just have this whole mess going on with the whole Pedro quits rumors and the many people canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions. I don't think they picked the right road to go down in firing Gina. I think there was a
right,
much better solution that would have been much quieter and would have blown over sooner than this.
right. Now, it's uncertain whether that was a good decision or not. I didn't think it was a good decision, but maybe higher execs thought it was. But going to a different part of the Disney slash Marvel world is WandaVision. And this season has actually been fantastic. All these episodes were fantastic. You actually got me into it.
Yeah,
And the characters are good. Obviously, Vision, you know, Scarlet Witch, classics, favorites, fan favorites. Although Vision's dead, he is an illusion. This whole world that Wanda's making is an illusion. And that's been alluded to many times in the show. But many theories suggest that a higher power is actually at play here, helping Wanda create this reality for herself. And that is actually Mephisto. And I'm sure you've heard of it.
yes. Now, I mean, before we say anything else, just want to let people know, like, if we say we're probably gonna say stuff that it's just spoilers, so spoilers ahead, warning you now. So if you don't want to listen to this, tune out. As you said, Sean, yes, I agree that Mephisto is at play here. Especially, I mean, we saw many clues to it, especially in, I think it was, gosh, second or third installment of the show. I think it was the third. I think it was the third episode where Wanda's powers were out of control and she was having the kids. We saw some symbolism on Geraldine's necklace with the upside down cross,
Hmm.
signs of the devil. The stork that came in, we saw that, which I found it interesting because if you remember, like, that was the only thing that Wanda couldn't control. And
And it,
go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You well, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, obviously, that necklace on Geraldine could have just been Sword, because since she works for Sword, but that's just a symbolism there. If you didn't know that was a Sword logo, you'd probably think it's the upside down cross, right?
And they both are
And
very
we
similar and like they resemble each other.
right. And you mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned, I think Geraldine was wearing or Scarlet Witch was actually wearing a fish dress,
Oh yeah, it was
and
Geraldine. Yep.
fish usually symbolize peace and Jesus, heaven, right?
Right.
And with the upside down cross, there's those two forces clashing. Mephisto, the devil himself, Agnes. So a lot of people are actually theorizing that it's Agnes the Heartness. I'm not
Something like,
sure.
yeah. I've heard that
I'm
rumor
not very
too.
knowledgeable into the broader Marvel universe, so excuse me on that. But a lot of people theorize that it's actually her, and people are just not just saying that Mephisto is, manipulating this little city that she made, but he's actually trying to get the kids from Wanda to get his own little deeds going, to be the next big villain of the MCU. And that's probably why we're going to see Doctor Strange himself intervene, because Scarlet Witch is going to go mad because she's going to lose her kids to something. So we're gonna have to see where that goes. I'm actually pretty interested in most of these theories that are being cooked out right now.
Right, and
And
I want to touch up. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I want to touch
mhm,
up on a couple of things you pointed out there. So you have Agnes. I, I I'm not going to be able to say like who they theorize she is, but if you remember correctly from the first few episodes, she kept mentioning her husband that we never see, Ralph. 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 He's
mhm,
always such a monster. He's horrible. He loves to live in the dark. And if you know anything about Mephisto, he likes to go by the name Ralph as well. So that's another clue at Mephisto there. And I like how I don't know if you saw the last episode, but they kind of made it seem like Agnes isn't involved, like she was being controlled too. Now here's a
mhm.
theory for you: what if she's just playing them? Because I do,
Right,
there's been hints at it. She knows more than she's putting off. She knows more. Okay,
right. And you can tell
you can
just
tell.
the things she said, her dialogue.
And another thing I want to point out is, like you said, with the symbol of the devil, the upside down cross, how it was a sword necklace, but at times it really did look like an upside down cross. I've been hearing a new theory, very interesting one. I don't think I've told you about it yet, but there are theories that the sword director is actually Mephisto, which
Wow.
I mean I can kind of see it. He knows everything that's going on. He seems very like obsessive over Wanda, her powers.
Mhm,
He wants to control her. He wants to control. He wants to, and even threatens to like kill her at times.
mhm.
Is very interested in the kids, and he can track Vision, but Vision's dead. So how can you track something that's dead? So I know that's a very
And
interesting theory. I
it's
think.
I think it's a little interesting theory here that he's the only one there that really wants to kill her. He sent a drone in and he told his men to take the shot.
Right. Exactly.
When Geraldine was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, she's not really a villain here yet. You're gonna make her the villain, trying to play the good guy here, I suppose,
Yeah.
in the story."
Um.
So
But
we're gonna have to see where this goes from here. I do think it's Mephisto. It could just be a build up to Scarlet Witch going mad and her face off with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness
right. But I don't see her.
movie. So
I don't see her going evil on her own. I think
right.
something has to push her there, and that's another reason why I think Mephisto is at play here. I mean, we even see glimpses through Wanda's eyes of like reality. Like there's a glimpse of like she's looking at Vision, but all she sees is dead Vision. And like there's other key little things like that, but that was the one that really stuck. And I think what's happening there, I think Mephisto's like kind of reminding her like this is your reality. Like you don't want to go back to this. You want to stay here with me. And I think he's feeding off of her emotions and getting
Mhm.
stronger by doing so.
I have to agree there. Just the way it's building up, all the devil references, I do think he's gonna pop out at some point, and we're gonna have to see in these future episodes what's gonna happen. And I'm sure you watched the last episode. I didn't fully watch it, but I did watch a scene. Major spoilers here. Again, another warning. Quicksilver, Evan Peters,
Yeah, Evan Peters,
Uncle Peters.
Uncle Peter, yeah, Uncle Peter. But
Pietro actually appeared dead in one of the scenes as well, and you can see the bullets in all the same spots too.
yeah,
And then he knew everything from the past, almost everything, only a few different things. And people actually suggesting that that was actually a version of Mephisto or someone controlled by Mephisto, because how would he know so much about Wanda?
that is
Or
that's true.
because it could also be a figment of her imagination, because obviously Wanda knows about herself.
Yeah,
So if
and
she's making all this up,
and
then
there's many theories here with this one, especially because if you think about it, it's the X-Men's universe, their Quicksilver. It's not the Quicksilver we saw in Age of Ultron. So
right.
there's already theories like if it's not just Mephisto manifesting as this version of Quicksilver, it could also just be a Quicksilver, possibly from another universe, like the X-Men's universe, and that could be a reason why he knows so much. I mean, because if you remember from the X-Men's universe, Quicksilver doesn't really go much into his past. All we know is that
Mhm.
his father is Magneto, so maybe
Mhm.
maybe some things stuck. Like they always say in some universes, some moments are always happen, which is
Hmm.
very interesting. But I think everybody's in agreement. It's not the Pietro of the MCU's universe, especially the way he asked those questions about what happened to Vision and all and to Wanda over the years. Like and talk about that. Like I think they even talked about their parents' death at one moment, and just like again, like all those emotion-provoking questions. Maybe it was Mephisto. Maybe it was a Pedro of a different universe. We don't know yet. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Right. So again, we're gonna have to see where that goes from there. If you're a fan of WandaVision, comment down below what your theories, and let's talk some more Marvel in the next episode. Do you have anything else to add about WandaVision? It's a pretty good show. What are your thoughts overall on it?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy the show. I honestly, I think you've already said it. Like, it's a great show. I have heard rumors that season 2 has already been confirmed. Like, so I'm wondering how they're going to be able to like extend it from what we've seen. But all in all, great show. I think this actually goes to show that the MCU has pretty much wasted Elizabeth Olsen's talent. I mean, that's really all I have left to say on it.
Well, yeah, great points made there, and it is a great show. But we are running out of time here, so this was it for this installment of the Cabral and Salisbury show. Thank you everyone for watching. Before we go, we do have a couple of announcements. For starters, we're going to return Clueless Jay, and we are unsure what game Jay will be playing next. We were going to schedule Ark Survival Evolved, but he actually enjoys the game now, so he's not that clueless. So I'm going to surprise him, and we're going to throw him into a game completely blind and see how well he does. But I know, Jay, you have another announcement you want to make about sports review?
Yeah, that's right. Now, for those of you that don't know what Sean's talking about, I will be starting a new series called Jay's Sports Review. Basically, I'll be uploading video shorts about sports related topics whenever I really get the chance, since we're only able to cover so much in the podcast. Because, I mean, so much goes on, in the sporting world. I know in the podcast we mainly talk about football. That's just because that's where I'm more knowledgeable, but I want to try to reach out to other sports and really, report sports news. But the videos won't really have a set length time, but that's just kind of it's just going to be based on the stories, what I have to say. But yes, that will be debuting very shortly within the next week or so.
All right, guys, that was it. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and thank you for watching.